Now that I have actually got my grid laid out, I'm going to start using the grid to make the drawing itself. I'm going to start by taking, you can see I'm looking at the grid, comparing it to the bigger grid on the piece of paper, and then matching it up, drawing it with it. So I should have squares on both sides, and those squares line up with each other. Those are going to show me where to put the things for the image that I'm trying to make. I'm going to work through it here. You can watch for a little while. And at the end, I'm going to have a decent drawing for what the basis for what things are going to be. You can see when I work on the lips, I actually go back and fix it a bunch of times because I want it to be really clear that I have it right. In a moment here, you can see that I've pretty much laid out everything where I want it to be. I have my mouth, I'm figuring out my mouth exactly, kind of making sure that that's correct. But then once I have that figured out, I know that I have everything laid out exactly what I want it to be. And at this point, I'm going to go and erase the entire grid because I don't need that anymore. It's starting to look, my son, what we call a cartoon because it's not shaded in. So I erase the entire grid here. And at that point, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start shading. You can see I switch pencils. I go from a mechanical pencil and I get some of these nicer pencils, which we'll have in the classroom. At home, you can buy a pencil set. This is the ones that have like 2B, 4B, 6B, 9B. And the higher the number with a B on it is, the softer it is. And then in general, the darker it's going to be. So here, I'm going to go in and start shading. So I start out with a lighter pencil, probably like the 2B. And as I'm going through it, I'm going to look for the darker spots. I'm going to fill it in with the dark. The hair can be really difficult because uh, if it's really individually, thousands of little tiny lines, and we don't want to draw out every single line. So to do it, I'm just kind of getting an idea of where those things. You're going to see here that I'm actually going to go through, shade out things roughly where I want them to be, and then in a little bit here, I'm actually going to go and erase everything. This gives me a chance to redo what I am doing. So I'm going through getting things in the right spot where I feel things are about correct, that it's starting to look the way it's done. I could even at this point maybe say, hey, I'm finished. Look at this. I've got this drawing. But that's not really what we're going for. We're going for extreme realism. So now I go back and I erase the whole thing. Everything on there, I go and erase it. But it's not all gone. You can still see my pencil marks. So I go, that's me throwing stuff in the garbage. I come back, and then I'm going to come back and draw these things back over. I'm going to go back over everything again. And now this is my time to make sure I'm doing it exactly right. This is what I'm wanting to see from you folks this week, and we'll do some more next week. Thanks for watching.